Hello! This evening I'll be reviewing a frozen pizza by the Screamin Sicilian Pizza Company. Now, Screamin Sicilian is a brand born from the Palermo frozen pizza brand, and they call themselves craft pizza. They like to compare their product to other mass market frozen pizzas in the same light that you would perceive craft beers to be superior to mass market beers. They're out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Their parent company Palermo was started by an Italian immigrant couple, and this brand was previously only available in Wisconsin, Indiana, and Illinois as of 2013. Only in the past 3 or 4 years have I seen them. And I'm interested. We all do frozen pizza. Don't be too proud. I usually gravitate towards DiGiorno. And I've been walking by this since about last winter, and I mean, of course, the packaging is comical. This actually isn't real. I got it out of the back of the box here. But they consider themselves a craft pizza. Let's see, the Holy Pepperoni variety. We have piled so much spicy, chopped, thick-cut pepperoni on our pizza that it may be illegal in some states. They tout stone-fired, hand-rolled artisan crust, a secret recipe of tomato sauce, as well as real whole milk mozzarella cheese from Wisconsin, aka America's Dairyland. Now, I was interested at the price point of $7.99. If you go to a grocery store that has a price card or frequent sales, you can grab a DiGiorno or a Freschetto on sale, usually for $4 or $5. So $7.99 may seem steep for a frozen pizza, but off sale, DiGiorno and Freschetto are usually $7.99 as well. So I couldn't help but to give this a shot and see exactly how it stacks up to what I'm used to. Now, before I show you the pizza itself, as you can see, there's no photography or illustration on the box. There was just a cutout window, so you can't see it. But the first thing that I saw through the window was plenty of pepperoni, and this prides itself on having rough, thick, chopped pepperoni, and a lot of it. So when I looked in the window and I saw not just round slices of pepperoni, but thick rectangular cuts of it, I was intrigued, as any lover of heavily salted and processed meats would be. So when I took it out, I rearranged it a little bit. Some of the pepperoni had settled, and when I show you this pie, you might not be as wowed. It might appear to you like any other frozen pizza would, but here we go. And I'd really like you to pay attention on the geometry of the pepperoni slices. They say that it's a lot of pepperoni, and clearly it's enough, probably more than any other frozen pizza would have, but the looks really don't do it justice. The smell, when I took this out of the oven, the smell of the pepperoni was almost pungent. It was so savory. Some of it almost smelled like a good Genoa salami. So I couldn't find out what variety of pepperoni. It looked like two different varieties, because some of it was cherry red, and then some of it was a tan color like I've seen on salami. So sadly, I couldn't find out, and I did look online, and I don't know what kind of pepperoni they used, but it simply smells intoxicating. Like, I can't even tell you. So let's get this tasted. Oh yeah. Excuse me. For one thing, this is a very bold pizza. They talk about using a secret recipe sauce. The sauce is definitely something special as far as frozen pizza goes. It's not too sweet. It's not too tangy. It's almost a Merlot-like flavor in that sauce. Now, the cheese... Now, frozen pizza cheese, you can't tell by looking at it. Frozen pizza cheese usually isn't that great. It's usually like a bunch of cubical chunks of cheese. But this actually has some stretch to it. Like, this is real cheese. I don't know if I can emulate. Look at that. I've never seen such a good cheese pull on a frozen pizza, so they've definitely done good there. The crust, as you can see, there's not a lot of like crust edge area. I know when I buy DiGiorno or Freschetta, there's like a good 2 inches of crust at the end, but let's face it, that's just all bread. Like, it's all filling. As you can see, the edges aren't very wide, but I mean, furthermore, I cook my pizzas on the longer end of the recommendation. So if it says 20 to 25 minutes, I always go for 25 to 27. I like it really done. This particular pie suggests for 25 directly on the rack for 17 to 19 minutes, and I did 19. Now, the bottom, when you bite in, the bottom of it feels like a cracker crust. Like, when you bite into it, there's kind of a crisp. And it says that they make their crust by pressing, or not pressing, but by rolling together multiple smaller balls of dough. And I don't know like what that does, but the bottom of the crust being firm actually helps hold up the pizza, because there is a decent amount of their good sauce. And not only that, but all the grease produced by the pepperoni. You definitely don't want like a limp slice. I typically do DiGiorno, and you know, it's like holding a wet sponge or something. So that's interesting that they managed to get like a cracker crust on the bottom of a non-thin crust pizza to support all of their sauce and ingredients. The pepperoni, like I said, it's 2 different kinds of pepperoni, and I wish I knew what the other type was, but some of the slices are your typical like tangy, salty pepperoni taste, and then some of them are super earthy and flavory. So they call themselves a craft pizza, and I can definitely say if you want something a little nicer than everything else, and like I mentioned earlier, at the same price point, I really recommend the Screamin Sicilian brand. Now, there's other varieties. They had Bessie's Revenge, which was like 4 different types of cheeses, and some of them were round disc-shaped slices of fresh mozzarella. I can only imagine what that's like. They had a supreme version with vegetables, and a Mambo Italiano that had pepperoni and sausage. But all in all, I can definitely say every component of this frozen pizza is superior to what you're used to from a frozen pizza. I'm not going to compare it, you know, to restaurant pizza, obviously. But we have a good crust with a firm bottom so that you're not holding like a soggy, limp slice. It holds all the toppings well. We have actual stretchy cheese, delicious like real mozzarella cheese. We have pepperoni that you would expect would be on like a nice Italian panini, not a frozen pie. And we have a sauce that's super robust and almost wine-like in flavor. So you know what? For $7.99, which as I stated before is the off-sale price for other frozen brands, I can highly recommend the Holy Pepperoni by Screamin Sicilian Pizza Company. Thank you for tuning in, and I really hope you scoop one of these up. I'm going to get to it. Good night.